Your team is probably struggling right now. Here's why and what you can do about it. So here's the phenomenon we're seeing as firm owners are hiring new team members in the accounting profession. There's an assumption when the firm owner hires somebody that that person they hire is going to do the job they're hiring them to do. And there's an assumption from the team member too that they want that job. But when they get together and start working team, the people they hired are starting to say they're struggling and they don't want to devote some of their committed energy to part of that role. And it's confusing the firm owner because they thought they were on the same page or clear that they hired that person to do that role. So team members are starting to try to default out of doing some of the roles that the firm owner actually hired them to do in the first place. So we're in a unique position where we coach firm owners pretty regularly. And of course, we run our own firm. And a lot of these team struggles used to be more isolated, but we're starting to see that they're becoming more of a pattern for the profession and for entrepreneurs that are regularly hiring people in the labor market. So we have some thoughts as to why this may be happening. So it's true, since the pandemic, a lot of people have been struggling with their work, actually not just their work, their life. And it's gone pretty deep down to purpose. Like, what is my purpose? What's the purpose of the future? What should I be doing? And because of that struggle from the pandemic that made us all question what we're doing, it's making people question if they want to keep the same job, stay in the same profession. Some are leaving their careers. Some are starting new careers. Some actually left jobs and just went home for a long time because they had to. So a lot of deep-seated struggles came out of everybody's life after the pandemic. In the patterns we see while coaching firm owners, here's what we're hearing and seeing in these team members that are struggling. They're coming back to work with these struggles around their purpose, and they're placing their health, mental health, a lot of times higher than their jobs. Now, some people should do that, but what they're doing is they're letting the mental struggles that they're going through be the first line of how they're thinking about performing their job. And so they'll choose to be healthy and not do their job. And that's really causing problems with their bosses, the firm entrepreneurs who actually need them to do their job. And so they're foregoing work a lot of times. They're foregoing their salary just to maintain a healthy mental state. And they're actually leaving their jobs, or they're getting fired because they just will not do their jobs. So the strategic solution to these firm owners might be to do more strategic hiring processes up front, to not get into a relationship with a team member who may be struggling in a way where they need to deal with that struggle instead of trying to dive into a full-time role, because it's just going to cause a lot of problems when the firm owner expects them to do their full-time job and they just are unable to do it at that point in their life. Some warning signs you can look out for, maybe if one of your team members is struggling in this way, is that they stop fulfilling their job, they stop showing up to their job, they stop doing assigned tasks, they stop taking on the things that are clearly assigned to them in a job description, and they don't come to work, or they disappear from work. And when you add to that the fact that they're okay with those things, so even when you point those out and they're okay that they're falling behind, those are starting to become warning signs that they're struggling in a way that they can't commit to the job they thought they were committing to. So this isn't only on the team member, this is for the firm owner too. You want to make sure you're creating a role and a salary for a full-time job, let's say, that makes sense, right? It's not too much work for the salary you're paying. And you also, as a firm owner, need to really clearly spell out before you hire somebody what this role takes, what it will take. So you want them committing to a role up front, even before you've hired them. So those are some key things you need to do as the firm owner to not make this worse. And this is why it's always important to have an exit strategy with your team, because when a team member leaves or you fire somebody abruptly, that work doesn't just disappear, it actually goes to another team member. Think about where that work will go from that exiting team member. Will it go to other team that have excess capacity? That's how we do it sometimes. Will it go for just a period of time to the owner or the leadership team? We've done that before. But also, you can start to hire in advance, and you can start to feel your way through the labor market and find somebody who might be ready to commit, and you can bring them on at the same time you exit the other team member. That's the safest way to do it. Though there's still training involved, that exchange of one team member for another is the best way to manage this type of strategy on the exit of a team member that's struggling.